Tell 'em I tell. Peace, love, and pace. You are now tuned in with the Avid Soul. Welcome back to all y'all that are here. Appreciate you, and thank you for being in this moment that we are going to create. Now, I'm back here to give you a video on finding and choosing your sources. And when I mean finding and choosing your sources, this has to do with sources that will uplift and spark your awareness and your way to be in tune with yourself and everything that's around us. Because at the end of the day, once again, we have to do that inside work. So making sure you go within. So when it comes to finding and choosing your sources, first thing you definitely want to end up doing is you want to end up figuring out and watching what you do on a daily basis. So if you see yourself putting in a lot of time towards a particular activity, whether it is watching the TV, whether it is reading, playing video games, working, exercising, whatever it may end up being, take a note of that. Put it down and add that to a list to know what sources you can draw from that's going to help create a better version of yourself, as well as to help you unlock more of what's inside of you. 2, after you create that list from all those different ones that you have from there, 2, what you want to end up doing is you want to figure out how often will you be able to implement these things. And when I mean how often, depending on if you read, how often you're going to end up reading. If you are watching TV, and not only just for entertainment, but to gather information from, how often are you going to be watching TV and for how long? Same thing exercising. How long are you going to end up working out, and how many days out of the strength, as I like to call it, will you end up doing that? And once you've gotten that list and you start to figure out how much time, effort, and moments you're going to put into these different sources, you go from there, and that's where you begin to choose your source. So in my particular case, a source that I like to draw from to help me go further within is where I'm out outside. Nature. It's one of the best teachers, especially observation and watching what's going on in your environment and being aware of things that are in your environment. Like this fella right back here, this thing right here that's just spinning, or literally little things in the roof back here. But for me, coming outside in nature and really just listening, even if you hear the dogs barking, looking at birds, trees, and really grasping the concept of what it is to be when it comes to a human being, what it means to be. And then another source that I like to draw from too, and I need to do more of and continue on, is meditation. I know meditation is very hard for a lot of people to get into because they're not too sure what the purpose is or how you're supposed to go about doing it, and there's so many different ways and methods. This is what I will say. The point of meditation, from my perspective, my understanding, is more so, again, to be. It's not for you to get to this higher clarity. It's not for you to be more relaxed. It's not for you to have an outcome that comes from meditation. It's more so being in the meditation. And what happens is when you are there and being in the meditation, a lot of these things come about if you're willing to put that in. But if that's not the route for you, there's mindfulness. And with the mindfulness, you can apply that to anywhere in your life and be able to use that. So you can end up washing the dishes, but doing it in a mindful way. Watching TV, gathering information in a mindful way. And in a mindful way, that means being focused and being aware of what you are doing in that particular moment, whether you're washing dishes, how you're moving your hands as you wash the dishes, how fast or slow the water is moving, or when you're watching TV, how fast the characters are talking, or how the news is being brought out to you. Is it being brought out to help uplift you? Is it being brought out to bring you back into the state of fear, whatever it may end up being. That awareness is definitely key. So once you're able to find all these sources, and now you're going through and choosing what is working for you, that is where you're going to be able to continue to unlock more information, to unlock more knowledge, knowing the ledge of where you're going to end up going with it, as well as wisdom, gaining that wise dome and growing more within what is needed for you to thrive as a individual, a being, an avid soul, as we are all avid souls. It is just that we choose to do so. And once you're able to end up doing that, just get it consistently going down, and you'll get to see the effects after maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, wherever it may end up being. Because on top of that, you want to implement keeping your pace with these things. So being patient with your process of finding these things, being aware of what you created in the process, being consistent on how you do these things, and then empathizing with yourself to know that it is going to be a difficult route, but you'll be able to do it, and you have the resources to be able to do so. It's just taking that time to do it. But other than that, if y'all have any other questions or anything that comes to mind, this is how I'm finding, and I've been choosing my sources, and this is how I gain my information and intelligence. It comes from all here, or if not from books, wherever else that it comes from, nature. That's how I'm tapping in and finding all of this information that I will be continuing to share with you guys, or with you all. Other than that, remember to keep your pace, patience, awareness, consistency, and empathy. You've been tuned in with the Avid Soul, and don't forget to search within. Peace, one love, and I'm out.
I know it speaks internally. I know the sun's fervent heat, the solar plexus, all parts connected. Last I checked.